Zoom.
Ask you again.
Zoom, can you hear me? If you can, give me a thumbs up. If not, okay, I'm seeing a thumbs up from somebody. I'm just gonna use my teacher voice. I want to welcome you to the April meeting. We have an exciting time for you today. Our own members are going to be sharing some of their creations and masterpieces. So, next slide. Sorry, that's okay. Gotta love technology, don't you? Okay. Can you go back? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have a presentation and we're gonna have a break and we're gonna have announcements and Zoomers, and you can mute yourself. And if you have a question, please put it in chat. Everybody, don't leave after the presentations, including Zoomers. We do have some door prizes. We have our fat quarter, couple fat quarters. People from that are presenting at the show sent in some door prizes. And this is from Miss Scott. It's a bake, chicken bake. And I'm not really sure what this stick is. It's called Stickscapes. And we have a book by Julie McLeod, who is our banquet speaker, and she's teaching a class that she's doing the sustainability. And we have a book on grids and 2 Starfire patterns. So once again, don't leave, including Zoomers. If you're absent, you're going to miss out on this wonderful door prizes. Next slide. Do you want to speak about Alex could not be here? She is sick, so our show director could not be here. Ready? We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. Okay. Tina? Tina's coming up to introduce you to our volunteer of the year. And she's online so she can speak.
Oh, I'm Tina Rhodey, membership. Liz McHenry is, our Sandy doll here. She is, I think she said in Alabama, so she is not here, but we are really excited. She has done a million things. And I'm gonna, Liz, can you talk about yourself? I don't have to, because you're amazing.
Oh, thank you. Sure. Hi, Liz McHenry. Thank you so much for this honor. Was really excited and shocked actually to hear about it, but I've worked on the show committee for. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I know, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. I might have to sit in the chair. We'll get you the.
Can you hear me?
So where does it? How?
Yes.
I'll put you in that first.
I will love technology, people. So bear with us. It either works or nothing.
Mute herself, like.
Yeah.
I'm unmuted.
I don't think she's muted.
She is in the Zoom. It's just that we're having trouble connecting. Distance and the weather and a bunch of things, and we can.
So she has been faculty for the show many times. She says she doesn't do anything, but I've watched her run around like crazy at show meetings. She has run education for MQ for our monthly meetings. She's been on the board of directors. She's now managing FLAP, and I can never remember what that acronym stands for, but has done all kinds of things for. Said that she has been her right-hand woman, as Alex didn't know a lot about faculty, and Liz has really helped put the faculty in place, doing the contracting for things that have to happen. So she's done a really amazing job, and when you see her, thank her.
I will add that if you're coming up this way, do not go from that side over, come up this way, because we have, that's where the cords are.
Excited. So it should work out. Do you want to have Liz try again?
Is Liz able to speak?
Ask her to try again.
Liz,
Okay,
try
can you
again?
hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you said, yes, you can hear me. So I'll just say thank you very much. It's an honor to be chosen as Volunteer of the Year. And it's been a pleasure to help out with the show for as many years as I've been able. I really enjoy it. So it's exciting to be recognized for something that I enjoy doing. Thank you very much. It's been a great time working with MQ.
Our first presenter will be Rose Allen. And Rose, if you come up here, is only Scugget.
You're gonna use my slides as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you have to hold it, you can just tell me which one. They're in order.
Okay, hi, I'm Rose Allen. Really pleased to be asked to share 5 of my quilts. Well, I kind of went beyond that. I'm sharing 5 genres. I look at quilting as a journey, and these are the little expeditions that I took into the nooks and crannies of different kinds of quilting. So I'm gonna start with scraps. Anybody here have scraps? Well, this idea to cut my scraps, didn't want to waste anything, into 2-inch by 3.5-inch rectangles and put them together. And this is an example of a quilt that is using those blocks that finish at 3 inches. And next, I'll show you several here. I don't have, the one that's up here is actually in an exhibition right now, so I don't have the real one here, but that's another example where I did blocks improvisationally that are square and square. So I start with kind of a little piece in the middle, and I build out, and then I trim it down to 3.5 inches unfinished. You do a lot with this. This is another one with my rectangles. Both of these are going to be donated today to Quilting Brothers. And then I think I have one last one to show you. I don't think it's cheating to show this many quilts. No. Right, here's another one where I used both the square and square and the rectangle, and I quilted circles in all, so I call it circling the square.
So circle from back.
Yeah. And actually, I had 4 of these scrap quilts that had been kind of hanging around, so I went and bought a wide back, and I sewed it together, so I had about 6 yards of backing on my long arm, and I did them all at once. So I had a really big long arm. The other kind of quilting that I really enjoy doing is improvisation quilting. If I have done a quilt that takes kind of a lot of technical expertise, a lot of matching, that kind of thing, I need to kind of shake it off. And so I go and I play with color, and I play with putting things together, trimming them up, and putting things on the wall and figuring where things should go. It's one of the most fun things that I love to do in quilting. So here's one that I did when Steve Della was here. Does anybody remember that? It was back in the late, yeah. We had her here for a week with Contemporary Quilters. I got to know her pretty well because I was chauffeuring her around, and this is kind of her technique. So she's got some really good books out. So there's that one. Here's another one. This one I actually had in the Minnesota Quilt Show as a miniature into blue. So what you can do with that, and finally, you can show the other one. Here's another one just playing around with the concept of log cabins. Another rabbit hole I went down was called interleaf quilting. And this is a basic sample, but this is really a fun quilt as you go technique. So what you do is on this one, I made 2 triangles, 2 sets, with different colors, so 4 different colors. Cut them into 1.5-inch slices and rearrange them, and then did stitch and flip quilting. So it's soft quilted when I'm done. On the back. And you can get all sorts of really interesting things. So this is often what you see when people start this. And I did teach this class at the Minnesota Quilt Show a couple of years ago. I had a good time. Yeah, sure, it took it. Right. I had a good time. I really think it's a fun technique. But you can do all kinds of shapes and do this with. There's squares or just boxes basically. And then circles. Probably the other way. Yeah. So that's combining a circle and a triangle. And here's one. This traveled actually with the Minnesota Contemporary Quilters lines show. Finally, I teach beginners. I really love teaching beginners. I think get them into our COVID quilters, yeah. So I always share with beginners my first quilt. And this is the first quilt I made around the year 2000. I bought the book, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Quilting, and I made a set. I cut templates out of cereal boxes. I traced around them. I hand sewed the pieces together. I hand quilted it. It took a year. And I assure my students, that's not how we're going to do it. We're going to have something finished in 5 weeks. So, so I really enjoy that. I also am teaching a beginner's track at the Minnesota Quilt Show. And I have 4 one-hour classes, so a little bit more. In the morning, I'm teaching preparing your fabric for quilting. And so focusing on how to read a ruler, how to use a rotary cutter, very basic things. After that, I'm going to be talking about piecing for success. What is a scant 1/4-inch seam? Pinning, squaring up blocks, how to sew straight. These are, basic kinds of things. In the afternoon, I am going to be doing a class on walking for quilting with demonstration of how to use walking foot and a lot of the ideas about how you can get different designs with it. And finally, my last session is on binding the quilt, where I will cover binding, but also show you how to do a stashing or a facing as well. So I hope to not maybe see you, but if you have friends coming with you to the quilt show who are kind of interested in maybe getting involved in this, there's no preparation. You just show up. You have to register, but I just want to let you know that these classes are available. So bring a friend and get them involved. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
If we get a next group, kind of scoot, just, yeah.
Hold in here, I get it.
A little more.
You want it right here? Okay, the next presenter is Becca Brackett. You let her take it away.
Yeah, I'm Becca Brackett and talking to the football. Yep. So this is me in front of the Tulip House, which is in Lowry Hill, and their entire yard is just total tulips at the right time. And little traffic jams happen around. Anyway, my first quilt that I want to show is the Compass Rose. And my comment there is, it's not quite straight. I'm trying to get that slide straight, wouldn't do it. It's about 46 inches square, and it was embroideries by my friend Martha Hardesty and custom quilted by Christy Visser. It was started at a class about a Judy Niemeyer pattern at the MQ show in St. Cloud in 2014. That was supposed to buy the pattern called Mariner's Compass, but by the time I got to Blue Bamboo shop, they didn't have any more copies of it. So I got the Farmer's Star instead, but I figured, the main thing is the technique, so what? But I really wanted the compass, so I persisted. My Uncle Arthur loved to sail, and I thought I would make it for him. The original pattern had a red smaller star inside the center, but I found that to be totally impossible with the paper piecing, impossible. So I ripped that out and put roses in the center of the stars. Sailors call it compass rose anyway, because they just have so many little divisions, just like these old fashioned roses with multiple petals. So I had to elongate the center lines, and a delay of a couple of years happened before I had my friend Martha embroider the directions north, south, east, or west. And unfortunately, my uncle died before I got this quilt finished. But my next quilt is the quarry quilt, and that was in the 2010 show. And Randy was the quilter for this one. It was a challenge quilt. I think we had 4 fabrics that we had to use. And it was to relate to the theme of the quarry, which, you know, is right near St. Cloud. My great grandfather had been a quarry worker in Eastport, Maine, so that means I had to enter. So I used the flowers to be the gears on a derrick of pinwheel blocks, and there was a striped fabric that when you cut it on the bias, it looked like ropes. So in Judy Martin's book of blocks, there was a block and tackle pattern, so those formed the buildings. I couldn't resist getting 3-dimensional and having my granite elongated baby blocks hoisted out of the quarry. And I was so thrilled when I walked into the show and I found an honorable mention ribbon on my quilt.
So I can't see it. There, over here. You'll be able to come up and look at it.
So my next quilt was also kind of a challenge, the 2016 Minnesota Hail to V.
You hold the mic a little closer.
A little closer? Okay.
That's it, and I'll tell you where.
So the Hail to V challenge was, you know, that we had to make the quilt reflect something about Minnesota. And the fabrics that we were required to use were from Terrywood, of course. I had been taking an ecological class on the 3 eco zones. We decided to do a map that shows the 3 different zones. The big woods are down here, the prairie is over here, and the boreal forest is up here, and then there's a little bit of something called aspen. I've never been to that part of Minnesota, so I don't know. So then I decided that the river should be on there because DNR has concocted state water trails on certain rivers. So for my sources, I use the state highway map, DNR ecological maps, and the water trail maps to make the image. And you know how the state map folds up? I thought mine should too. Next slide. And the back is shows the different these are from the Minnesota fabrics that we get from time to time. So and the state map also has the little binding of maroon with stripes, the little lines that tell you, you know, where is Mankato 5C or something, and you use that to guide you. Well, mine has those little maroon things too. So that one was small enough I could quilt it myself. So my next quilt was in the 2018 show, Baskets and Stepping Stones. We used to do a block of the month with the pattern in the newsletter, and Kathy, Simon Frank, thank you for doing that for so many years. I think Jean, someone did it. So the theme that month in 2016 was the basket quilt. So I won it. Sometimes I say I never win any, but I won them, but I didn't do anything with them for a while. And then in 2018, I saw that the show was going to have a special exhibit of basket quilts. So that was a kick in the pants. So I finally put it together, and then I designed an alternate block that gave me the stepping stones. And I think Randy quilted this one too. Still holding. You can come up and look at it closer after the session. And then this last one is called Star Dancer. It's about 64 by 76, and I call that block the Evening Star. It was started when my friend Wanda McKay was moving to Florida, and she had to clean out her stash. She gave me some flying geese blocks with fall colors and bright prints. And then I saw the Star Dancer pattern by Marsha McCloskey in a book called 101 Fabulous Rotary Cut Quilts. So I love that. And I have you look close and ask you, were the blue center blocks or the brown center blocks made first? So who votes for the brown centers? Who votes for the blue centers? Okay, well, in the directions for the quilt, the books say to make the blocks with blue centers first. However, looking, there's an illustration of a photo, and the brown centered blocks have matching points and also matching corner blocks. So those were made first. And then the blue ones were like a lattice work in between because they overlap. So you can't make all of the blocks separately and smush them together or something. No. So I found that to be fun. I call that lozenges in between them rather than lattice. But I made enough blocks to make it a full quilt. She only gave me maybe 3 or 4 blocks.
Thank you, Becca. Next is Sharon. And I'm gonna let Sharon start and then we'll start. I'm gonna show. We got it, so we got it right there.
Where do you want me to say it?
Just
Like there.
I'm Sharon. This is a quote I've always loved. To find a passion in life is a gift, and we were found quilting. We truly are the lucky ones. So I brought 5 quilts today that I hope kind of show my style of quilting. So you can start with the first.
This one?
Yes, that top one. And with that, you can search slides and just go past the wording. All right. I love to make, I'm gonna put my glasses on. All right. I love to make all styles of quilts, from the reproductions to the modern, from the simple to the most complex. But I come back time and again to my detailed precision piece traditional quilts, many of them being star type patterns. And I thought this quilt really fits all the criteria that I love. You can move on. This was a kit put out by Moda featuring a new fabric line by 3 sisters, and I bought it from Blue Bamboo. I think you mentioned you bought something there. So we do know that we buy kits and sometimes they sit for many years before we get to them. So next one is Coxcomb. This was my first attempt at a Judy Niemeyer pattern, and I oftentimes call myself an applique wannabe. I love applique, but with working and children and everything, I didn't have much time to ever do much applique. So I happened upon a technique. I said this quilt kind of meets 2 of the criteria that I love. I love precision piecing. So the stars were done with foundation paper piecing. I do believe Judy Niemeyer and her company are probably the industry standard for precision paper piecing and curves. But I happened upon Invisible Machine Applique, which gave me the ability to do applique in a much faster method. So the applique pieces in here are raw edge and done with a nylon monofilament thread. It's a class that I went on to teach many times throughout to guilds and organizations throughout the Twin Cities years ago. This next quilt.
Hold on, we're getting there.
I know. I said big quilts.
Yes.
This next quilt is a kit that I actually bought out in Sisters, Oregon in 2008 again. And it was a reproduction of a raffle quilt that they'd done that year. And I was really intrigued with the contemporary look of the star compasses in this pattern, as I had been primarily making traditional quilts up to that time. I love the warm earthy colors that are my favorite, and I like that some of the colors, especially the soft greens, almost fade into the background. I cut this quilt out shortly after purchasing the kit, and then for whatever reason, put it away for about how many years. And when I was given the great honor of being chosen as Quilter of the Year for 2025,
I pulled it out and finished it because I thought it would be a great example again of my love of those precision stars, but a much more contemporary look as compared to the traditional ones I was putting in. And I'll have to say that last year I had the good fortune to get to return to Sisters Oregon for their 50th anniversary show, and was really aware of how the colors truly do represent that high desert of Central Oregon. The sagebrush, the bitterbrush, the yarrow and lupine. So it kind of gave it some new meaning to me that it really was representative of Central Oregon. Next quilt is called Breaking Tradition. I have always loved a scrap quilt, and when I was living in Texas years ago, I once had a teacher tell me, she said, Sharon, why would you stop at 4 fabrics if you could use 40? And why would you stop at 40 if you could use 400? So she really gave me permission to purchase and stash. But when I moved here, I joined a small group, and we had a group of 12 of us, and we have met for 32 years consecutively. And in the early days, we literally had a mantra. Our women, we love to do scrappy exchange quilts, but our mantra was traditional quilts, no whites, no brights, no metallics, no juveniles. But we finally convinced them, I think just prior to COVID, to break all the rules and go out and just all those beautiful quirky fabrics that are out in the modern quilt world now. We did it and came up with that. I love it. And I love the quilting on that. Anytime I can find a fun back, I love a back. I grew up loving paper dolls, so I saw those little paper doll clothes. So I always buy 5 or 6 yards whenever I find those fun things. And then lastly, these are my greatest creations, or my latest creations, and I like to call them my self-portraits. These are my self-portraits to depict my many interests in life, and I had such fun making these fabulous faces. I had the good fortune to be able to do a Madeline Island School of the Arts program down at their Santa Fe campus several years ago. Freddie Moran taught the class. We do know now she was 93 when she came in and taught the class. And if anybody knows Freddie Moran, I always say she was probably, she was a modern quilter while we were all still doing traditional quilts. She wears her signature red glasses, said red is my neutral. And she started doing these faces. I guess she passed away a couple of years ago, but prior to her passing, she had ended up in hospice, and she made a pact with herself. She couldn't really sew too much, but she could do these faces she had started. And she said, if I live to get out of hospice, I am going to make a face a day. And she made a face a day for 5 years. I kid you not. But it got her quilting and creating. And in our class, she just said, we are just having fun. We freehand cut all faces. She said, bring a children's Elmer's glue stick. We glued them together. And our room was just awash with color. And I do know now, as I said, Freddie passed away a year after our class. So I was so honored that I had that opportunity to take that class with Freddie. And I've had such fun with those, and I know there will be more in the future. So thank you. I enjoy sharing those quotes.
The next presenter was Joe, but he stuck up in St. Paul with a foot of snow. So up in Duluth.
Yeah.
Up in Duluth.
He's in school.
So they got about a foot of snow. So he could not make it. So Joe is also teaching another class at the quilt show. And so he just sent in some of his raw glue edge applique. He chose this piece since it teaches the method in a comprehensive way. And he does not use glue. Sail under the stars. The cats make me laugh. The expressions on their faces. And I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Lepidoptera.
Lepidoptera.
Good.
And butterflies. So it's like really kind of pretty. But he did this all with
moth, isn't it?
the moth.
Is it a moth?
Butterfly. Yeah.
Oh, family moths and butterflies.
Okay. Oh, I get it. So it's like the scientifically.
Scale.
Yep, so there's his snow blue. And then he's calm under the water. He loved to dye fabrics and use his backup. I also crocheted the jellyfish and applied it after the quilt was done. So the jellyfish are crocheted at the very top. Together we thrive. The no glue method allows you to take a complex drawing and easily create it on fabric. So once again, Joe is teaching class. So if you want to learn how to do that no glue method, sign up for his class. Next is Jean, our treasurer. Yay.
Small pile of papers.
Yeah, you're short. Right here?
When the alternates.
And what it is, there is, I got in 2016 from Quincy School. And for those of you that haven't met yet, I do have a voice condition, so I'm a little shy. Right, this is a pattern back over that came with the kit, and it's a little dull. But Pay now you can search. Pay made it up with all the cheeks that were gorgeous, and a 60-degree triangle ruler, and it was a lot of fun doing the cutting and the piecing, and just a really joyful experience. And then on top of it, Twin City Quilting did the quilting. So I didn't enlarge it, but you can see all the custom quilting. And it was done on their old machine, not kind of fancy computer machines. So it's all hand done. So I was pretty excited about that. Next slide. And then I used every darn scrap I could. And this was a table runner that went in the Textile Center member show in 2018. And it's got little geckoes. That just kind of makes it mess up. And then there was still a lot more scraps that were the other shape. And even the tiny scraps grew up to be very good. So I really enjoyed the kit. This one's just purple. But when I worked like getting a full time was a multi-decade project. And so getting it near that a little bit was a lot of fun. And notice. Good job, Jane. Good job to everybody who did their presentations. We're not done. Oh, we're not gonna start those yet. We need Linda's. I added Linda's slides. Where's Linda? The timer. Hold on here. Bear with us. Yeah, Linda's here. Come on. We gotta get to it. So don't look at these slides, because that's a presentation. We're working on it. Oh, no, we're gonna show Linda just like in the further on into the presentation. Sorry. We're trying to find that shit. So just don't look at this. So what I done was. We're ready? And then I guess we're switch. No, maybe the one almost. Bear with us. Technology. Is this music? Yes. It's now you remember.
That's a big thing.
We got it.
Yeah, no.
It's all good.
Well,
This is Linda and she's gonna do her presentation.
You can find it.
Yep.
Starts with that. I've only been quilting since, well, for 9 years. It was always my goal. It was on top of my bucket list. When I retired, I would quilt. Because I love quilts, but I knew there was no way with 3 kids and driving from Andover to South Minneapolis every day, I did not have time to quilt. So I waited. And then once we both retired and we moved to our dream retirement home, which was double the size of what we had in Andover, I started taking classes. And this was the second quilt I made. In the beginning, I took out most of my classes at Quilted Treasures. Before COVID, they had some fantastic classes and fantastic teachers. So with this one, we were just learning a lot of the different basic blocks, but I started liking the variety in there. So from there, we went on to, it's the one with the pink flag. Yeah, no, the other pink flag.
Okay. It's gotta come.
So it was long before COVID came along, and the only place I could take any classes was at Noble Quilter, which turned out to be only 13 miles from my house. So for a while, it was just Margie teaching me. And she taught me all these different blocks that I could make. And I discovered not only did I have fun making the blocks, but the scrappier, the better. I love my things just really, really scrappy. Kind of not planned out too well, but just super scrappy. So this is what I did. And this quilt goes on the bed in our guest room.
there are no slides?
So the tabs, the one that's the white, that's folded. Yeah. So there were a couple more classes I took at Quilted Treasures, and in that process, I found 2 of my favorite designers. This one is, of course, Laura Heine, and I found out I just love her work. The first one I did of hers was the rooster. I finished It's Big, and I finished about half of it in class. I came home, sat down at the kitchen table, and finished the rest of it that day. And I just really love the process. For me, it's like, if you want to do something with fabric, but you're a little bit bored of piecing, this was a great release for me. This was one of the second ones I did. And with this one, I just used scraps. I found out that I love going out sometimes with a particular focus for getting fabric, and I'm looking for fabric for collages. So things like the little, the butterflies, the little squiggly lines. There's, if you come up and look at it afterwards, there's all kinds of little, very tiny little hidden things in there. And I just love adding those to the quilts. I also found out with this one, it was a little bit out of my comfort range for doing the quilting. I ended up with a frozen shoulder just from sitting so far away from my my sewing machine and trying to feed it under. So yeah, I had a walking foot, but it's one of my favorites, and that usually hangs in my kitchen. The next one is the bears. Okay, another one of my favorite designers is Elizabeth Hartman. The first one I did of hers was the little dachshunds, and I made that for my brother-in-law. He was waiting for a heart transplant, and I got it finished about maybe 6 months before he passed away, so he didn't get to see it. This one I made for my 3rd grandson. It started off his bedroom. Before he was born, we painted his bedroom to look like an ice rink. His dad has been a goalie since third grade, and he just knew his son was gonna be a goalie. And now at almost 8 years old, he is. So I wanted to put hats on these bears that represented all the different NHL teams. But I found that that was just really too difficult to figure out and try to get the right colors, the right two colors to go together. So I kind of gave up on that, and I just went with rows of plaid hats. So that was his baby quilt. Then pretty different, yeah. This one I made for, is really special to me. This was for our 9th grandchild. She came to our family as a 2-month-old foster baby. And, a couple years after that, she legally became part of our family. And this is her personality.
Do we have a slide?
Yeah, we're not, she's just kind of all over the place. She has these very tight, dark curls, and her hair just bounces, and she jumps, she runs, she rolls all over the place. To me, this represents her. And I used my favorite fabrics, which is the 33 Productions, to do it. And when I gave it to her, the first thing she did, she sat on the floor and just wrapped up in it. So that meant she liked it too. And this last one is perhaps one of my all-time favorite ones, because I designed the whole thing. The circle side is the right. Yep.
Well, the back is interesting.
Anyway, we're gonna look at that too. It's called Minnesota Shop Hop Circles and Stripes. And I took a class over in Just So, St. Cloud, from Barb. She's an excellent teacher, and she taught several of us how to use our Thoth machines with all these little stitches. Like, I never knew I had the little foot plate to do things like some of these trims, like double ribbons and all these things. So each week we would go in there, each month we would go in, and she would teach us about a different stitch or a different foot plate or something to use. And then we just explored. So, well, the rest of the class, they were doing these very organized, but beautiful. Like, one was all in blues and whites, and that was going to be for a wedding. And another one was all in reds and whites, and I think it was for a birthday or something. Just very well planned out. I pulled out my tub of Minnesota Shop Hop fabrics, and my goal was to use a little bit of every fabric in that tub, including on the back. These are the strips. Some of them from panels and some just leftover strips. So there is no fabric on here on either side that did not come from the Shop Hops. I think they started around 2015, and it went until whatever it was when it was current, when I finished this. But I loved exploring with this, figuring out how I was going to lay it out, what colors I liked that went with the other colors, what patterns. I really learned through quilting that it's perfectly okay to put polka dots and stripes together, something that my mom never would have allowed because she's so bad. And it's perfectly okay in this. So just the scrappier I can do it, the better for me.
Thank you, Lynette. Appreciate it. Before we go on break, I want to make a few announcements. Over there on the table, we have the merchandise that's for sale. On the, which would be our right, are samples from our store that I believe is up and running, right? And there's a UPC code. You can go right to your phone, click on it, and get into it. Then you will have your merchandise delivered to the show, I believe.
Yes.
And you can order, and you get pick out what you want, your colors you want, what you want to buy, instead of having one thing of everything. So
With logo?
yes, it'll come with a logo. These are just samples of the shirts and whatever, just samples. Dale will embroider a logo that you pick to put on.
There's embroidery and, iron on, you know, what you purchase. There's a QR code that will take you to the website that will show you what these will look like, but we thought it would be good to have hands-on samples so you know what to expect. So these are all the items that can be printed or embroidered with our logo. And it's not gonna be open real long, so this is the only meeting. This will be available.
I think it's May 7th, but I don't
Yeah,
know what it says.
So the shop is, basically what we were trying to do is avoid having a bucket full of t-shirts that nobody likes, that we've got investment in. This way you order how you like it, with what you want on it, within reasonable parameters.
If you wanna take a screenshot of that, that's
Actually,
the
the
QR code is there,
right to the shop. And
but if
those
you
are
do
on-
that,
you'll
you'll
get
get
around.
you're going to jump.
So it's an opportunity to do your own choice instead of us saying, this is what we chose for you to pick from. So hopefully that will be a little bit more successful, and it's set up so that the delivery will be at the show. I think we'll probably set it up in merchandise for people to pick up what they've ordered.
And then after that, you can have it sent to your house, right, for you, but they're gonna, and there's also some coffee mugs there for
There's
sale.
merchandise for sale, we have all those in stock, so just our kind of our normal merchandise on this end, but those are our samples. And the only thing we would ask with the samples is we're responsible for them, so we have to send them all back. So please don't walk with anything accidentally, and just kind of the mess.
Touch, I know.
Touch, hold up, we don't have all the sizes, but we have one of each size for so
Awesome. And we have a special day today. Hold on for a second.
this.
Cupcakes for Minnesota Quilters. It's Minnesota Quilters' birthday. Not just I believe. 49, sorry, 49, sorry. And this took somebody right to the show, to this store, and then you can get it, the flower that is, an iron on. And the embroidery would look like that. And you have to zoom in on your computer to see what that looks like. But that's the choices you have, we're giving you. So anyways, so everybody, we can take a break, it is, 10:50. Half an hour, give you enough time to enjoy some coffee, cookies, and cupcakes, and check out the merchandise. And come check out the quotes that people make.
Sue, did we want to do door prizes now?
We're gonna do door prizes now because, hold on, I need the bucket. Bucket is up there. And we're gonna do some Zoomer ones too. Did everybody get a ticket? Zoomers, you don't need to worry about that. You got a ticket, everybody got a ticket that's in the room. Should we do the room first? Okay, when you come up, go see Erin over here. I forgot to introduce her, Erin, as our new administrative assistant, office manager. And she's running the show for me.
I look forward to meeting you all. I can already tell it's gonna take me a while to figure out how all the different groups run, whatever group does, but I look forward to learning more about it and meeting you all. To give me. It's a big organization. We do a lot of different things, so, but thank you, everyone.
Sorry about that, Erin. Okay, I'm gonna make a drawing in the room. Nine, 2, 1. If you can give her your name. I'll do another drawing in.
And let's see. Can you just, I'm happy with you.
900.
MANS. One afternoon.
Would be helpful if I told you what you're doing. Can you check with, Carol Miller, give your name? Sure. That would be awesome. Next, we'll drop,
William, C-O-L-L.
I'm not quite sure what this is, but it says it's a Quiltscape
S-H-A-S.
literary by Deb Scott. Ms. Scott is a Chopra, teacher. You're gonna teach me class. 898. You can say that, or that's mine. It is.
I'll give you, did you put the name down, Sue? Okay.
Next drawing is for another 5/4. 903. 903. Come on down.
You win. Nice.
You go, my dear, just give Aaron your name and phone number. Sure. Next drawing will be for the Starflower quilt pattern.
6-1-2-0. 2-8-6.
These two books that I don't. 909.
I'm looking to the swimmers.
Yeah, we're gonna do the doors next.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, we're gonna do some zoomers here. After this. Name and phone number to Miss Aaron. Okay, zoomers, I'm gonna pick a number randomly. How many people are there in attendance?
15.
Wow. 7. Back quarter.
Mary Dolphin.
Mary Dolquist. Congratulations, Mary, on Zoom. Next one for Zoom will be number 2. And that is for these lovely little chicken pattern.
Ellen Burke.
Pardon?
Hey, Ellen Burke.
Ellen Burston. Berkland, sorry, Ellen Berkland. The next one will be for this lovely starflower, the starflowers. Number 8.
Monique Clark.
Monique Clark. Congratulations, Monique. And I'm gonna give them a little bit of time here. We have another fat quarter for a zoomer. Let's do number 12. Number 12.
It's Patty. Phil.
Patty Calholt. Patty Calholt. Oh, Holt, sorry.
Pedal. Oh.
Kettle Holt. And then another zoomer. And let's do number 15.
Sandra R. Johnson.
Sandra R. Johnson. And the next one will be in the room. 9:07. 9:07. And that is for Julie McCullough's book, Patchwork Lux. Sorry, I should have made that big announcement. Sorry. And Julie is our speaker at the banquet. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry. And then we have another book for the room. 9:28. 9:28. Awesome, Rose. Come on down, Rose. Woo!
I'm here. I'm
And that
here.
concludes-
Yeah. Okay.
So feel free to meander around. It's 11 o'clock. We'll come back at 11:30 into our business, which should take about 20 minutes. Take that. So
You
enjoy
called
your
my
rest.
name.
What's your name?
Sandra Johnson.
Oh.
Did I? There. Oh, okay.
Just gonna stick it right here by the elbow.
My arm.
And I have one show and tell, so don't forget to show and tell.
We're gonna do that at the end.
You didn't say that.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't normally announce it, but yeah, it's at the very, very
I
end.
was going like,
Oh my gosh, no, we're gonna have it. Thank you. Is that easy or hard? Thank God we don't do this as you.
we don't do what?
Here I have a that are, yeah.
You know, like, for 2 months.
I don't know.
But
I'm telling you that. So,
do we feel like going to work? It's hard to each of our it's right. Even was kind of good. Having their goals to the schools. I'm not getting here. Being here. Never. Right, when it was a time, your names. Why am I going to count it? So I was just in writing a good teaching free of 500. So we decided to have a piece this year, like, we take them all up and do go break, we stay on it. Oh, thank you. Oh, I don't think Sharon, she wrote the Sharon down there, and I'm software. And and I can make my phone back. Oh, the bitch gonna give this one, see what they used to get.
And then I don't remember. I think that some of this history from the years. It is the statement.
It's like, for my fabric, I mean, I didn't got this, that was not, I like. It's really perfect. And then, I'm eating, trying to keep them married and down the reasonable time. And got that, I'm not happening in there. Oh, I see the heart. You know, that, it was 7 minutes, something out, like, we got for the reasonable lives. The other was, it's, I didn't care that. I'm pretty good to keep on the show. One price, it's moving on. First, it's my strategy. Yeah, I can switch to it. So I can see one. And then I just say that. Okay, you're good. I'm like, we're with this. Yeah, probably. It's on the price. It's on the video. They have your.
Yeah.
Right, but
Ever like you said.
what I'm saying. And I and see it open. On top of it. And it fell. My actual. They were. Financially, we're still off the product. They were being covered. Small. Trim of this. So yes. Jamming. You know, I want to turn these one or two. Large. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, if I can make it, I'm gonna this is the Irish one, and I want to hard to moving that here, where I do speaks. One of the good Irish guys, I was. You play the men. I try to put color in. Things that are close to you, sorry. Like personally, it's dull and gray and that's has it on my side, it's fresh and all for especially. Just this thing, yeah, so no perfect. So, I use the silver, I find our batting, and the batting is on its heels. So where the one strike, there's, that's why you're looking well. Since that. We're gonna keep that in. Yeah. And this thing. Right. So the Dakota, South Dakota and North Dakota, throwing snow on the backside. And sure, Iowa getting. Oh, I just literally take that thing for, and I'm sharing with you. And, yeah. I'm trying to be a child. So, order the right, still not. Well, that is another great. You may know. Oh, Lord, the right stage. Individual, you know, this kind of sharp line, you know, give your. Which one, right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying that they're living one day. Yeah, you know, read one. Or regular. Yeah. So, you know, like when I so like they will have math and so and take math on the for guidance and that's and I realized like in so many of our towns, they're always at where they're together. There are councils. And so we're still sleep. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I was there, and exemption, I noticed it did it about. There was something from the gym, his dad. So you check it out, yeah, car. They were trying to see. No, anything, no. One each while, I'm sure, so it's, but not this. There's no, I love this. Yeah, I remember Joe, yeah.
Class and that actually are, I think it'd be really fun to offer through MQ.
That's what we were gonna get a hold of you.
Yeah,
Let me. Alex is working with me to get good classes going. What day of the week works for you?
I think a Tuesday.
Anybody able Tuesdays? Just in person?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. And how long of the class?
I think if you have 4 hours, I taught 3 weeks, but really used another hour. They could match their Tuesday.
Okay, so
4 hours.
and how many people?
They have 20.
That sounds good. And then, once I establish that, and I'll throw you out some dates, then you tell us what your fee would be and that kind of thing, and then we charge it. So.
Yeah, I'd be cheap. And I make money.
mm,
I'm very loyal to this organization.
But thank you. Yes,
But yeah, I think it's a perfect one, and it's not one that I've taught through the shop, through Twin Cities Quilting, where I teach my other, so.
and when I go on Twin Cities, I love their fabric. I've seen your name for classes, but didn't connect it till now. How do I know that, Rose? I don't know.
Yeah, she's always in the class list. I'm constantly teaching.
Oh, and they said you were presenting, I was like, where are you from? So, but now I know.
Now you know. Yeah.
That'd be good to take a class, but yeah,
But yeah, would be these kinds of things, so.
right, those are cool. I will, like I said, I'll reach out to Alex when she gets back. She's got the flu real bad.
Oh dear.
And then, we'll set you up and then we're hoping that Sharon is do the faces.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, but she's gotta check to see if she can.
Yeah,
There's little, if she legally can.
right.
So she's gonna get back to me and I'm gonna give her a month. But it would be after the show.
Oh yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Because you're busy with that stuff. So it might even be more towards August, September.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get membership to teach classes because it's good to have members teach, peers teaching.
But
peers.
it's an awful lot of work for education, which is a huge responsibility.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Gives me one more class. Yay. 'Cause we're going down, starting in October, we're going down to one meeting a month. We're going to have more classes. Throw it in there.
That's great.
Yeah.
So if there's a real demand.
Yep. And it's finding the classes and seeing all these masterpieces, people sharing different things. And as I said, it's good to have members, teaching members. Right, Zach? Sure. You want to be a teacher?
You should do the Minnesota Loon, the Rebel Loon live.
The Revolution, oh, you have paper piece.
Oh, yeah, they're doing that at City Blocks right now.
Yeah.
But somebody brought that into the shop, and I said, okay, go for it, not me.
Did it?
Did you?
It took me a week to get it done.
Oh, man.
Is it applique?
No.
Paper piece.
Paper piece.
Tiny.
Tiny.
My friend who passed away with love paper piece, and I'd look at her and go,
I have to be kind of in the right rhythm, and I don't think that I can maintain the moods long enough.
right. It might take me a year.
Oh, wow. So is it on the back something? Or you just,
I just made a square and it's hanging on the ground.
okay.
Right. You know, but yeah, I mean, that might be if I could get a hold of the person from who she did that. Or if there's a member that's willing to put this, getting the pieces for it.
That would be a good class. Well, what, I didn't have a
City Lux is selling silk shirts for the fabric, really, and they try and go online and look at.
Oh, okay.
So then patterns just spread out.
Okay.
You say if you've never made energy. I don't think so.
It's not a beginner.
They have this paper piece of experience to do it.
Just a little.
So that would be where I can get it.
Just because it's so tiny, little.
Right, maybe if I got somebody to just teach the basic paper pieces and then present that class maybe a month or two later.
Yeah, that might be.
Yeah, I get it. There's an extra.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you need that magnifying glass to see the numbers on here.
Oh,
Some of the pieces are so tiny, is that number 57 or is that number 58? And if
See,
you
my-
don't do them in order, it's.
Yeah, that's beautiful though.
But yeah, it's easy to do, it's just that it's very, I wouldn't wanna churn out a bunch of it.
No, that would be one you'd go, yeah, I made that.
Yeah, I mean,
There it is. Yeah, it's on my door.
having.
That was okay.
They are having, that's what I was leading up to, they are, I guess, paper because they're only off our class days, so they are figuring out, they did figure out how to make a class, I think it's coming up.
Yeah, I did see it on there and it's like. I suppose it does that include it?
It was only like 15 bucks.
Yeah, it's not very much grammar.
No,
Jack ahead her bag of so it's supposed to be a longer class.
And then going, which number is it?
with you, my next line door. No, it's in like. Late section. It's on our wings, they have one.
You know, that's thematic for right now.
Yeah,
Will it be something people want to do in the summer?
yeah, that's
Right, you know, everybody's trying to do their art too.
Yeah.
Express their political views.
Yeah. And that's, I have mine, tried to keep them in myself.
They can do it. And yeah, I could, but. But.
No, and that would have to be, find somebody that could teach a beginning paper piece class, and then maybe that one.
Guide you through the line, you got like an hour to guide you through. An hour after you play some.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Not my skill.
Yeah.
I do it, but.
Yeah. But I will check with Alex when she comes back. We'll get that lined up. I think that would be awesome. And I love that moon one. I just think that is just so cool.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned the moon, I went,
Oh, yeah, here's my quotes. And I missed, I forgot to mention my Don't get it off. Okay, Wayne, don't talk. I found enough. Collaborate. I did not bring that quilt in because it's hard to get off one day. And it's staying crystal later. I only had 2 records for Scott. Yeah. Well, that's.
and then probably they probably just zoomed over it, but I didn't mention it. So
These two are good.
did you wish you could?
Yeah.
Not very good.
When you get up, I see that on the third one. Once you get over, it's like you need another one with a hand. See that minute.
That's the one I was mistaken.
Now that.
Oh, that's the one flat. Oh, that's the one they're gonna do in the end. I do it for him. I'll try.
You did send it.
Yeah, and that's, you have, coordinating kind of probably,
For you, when it's in,
I'll try to remember that, and I might announce it when I'm done with your.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'll get it.
And rather than just sitting together, straight line, get a little bit of that.
Should change it.
Question. But anyway, sorry, just, there's a lot.
Yeah, there, usually we have like 60 here and there's
Like last year, they were, you left and I was in her place.
yeah, right, but now there's nothing.
And it's.
They're heavy chairs.
Yeah, sure.
One of them is still here. I think. I don't know whether I'll think if you guys. Yeah, I'll just say if you want to come, extra company, if they have a few grandkids coming over. Yeah, take a box. Yeah, take a box. Yeah. There's this kind of. Like this.
PowerPoint is that.
Where you put it, look here. John.
Yeah.
And here, like. That. She's gonna be using for again. They're making the very connection meetings. Or you have to been. Like it's not enough. You find a bag. This is class. Yeah. We did not come with one. We found Canadian. Well, we found it for that. You know, because she bought it for trying to do. One is son. What else is there?
Yeah, only got 3.5 maybe.
Most of the time, it's supposed to die, short down, time cards. My dad, you're so and I'm there the thing with the regular shirt, that was just fun. Then I said, just for you to see. He is still, I'm not, you got it, I think I. Let's go. Try my foot. Sure, I got more than yeah. But it's that's my life. Now. Drive to my son's video. It's like, oh, you can text it, they do this, they did, and then let it take their. And we're gonna, well, my hands, like, what's on it? I don't know, really good. Well, you can't look to your eyes. It is what you get in your work, and it's record. My better than that.
Yeah.
Do that. Okay. Now, there's your colors, there's the mayor. Start. Then we're ready to go. Right. Yeah, we got time. My dad. Exactly. So this is my home computer and then I have a work computer. Yeah. And I'm like, it's. So I was telling Jean, for some reason, when I try to email to a position, it won't work. Keeps kicking me back. Wilder.min. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. So I'm able to send it as Deb. For some reason, it comes through as Deb. Get anything from me from Deb. It's, and why it won't connect with it. It didn't connect with all the other people that you had. Would not work. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's quilter.min.org.
I know, it's even doing like closer to
minquilt.org and it kicks it back. So I just don't understand. I sent an email to Amy, kicked it back. And I went to bookkeeper and I'm like, why did it kick? But if I type in Amy, then it pops. Then I can do it. But you think bookkeeper would pop up.
What do I know? Part of the garage, what do we get started with?
What? We start with up slide 7. Minnesota code. That's the one I'm gonna start on. And then work our way through. And there's another Minnesota code. And if Carolyn is there, she'll be able to speak on it. I don't know if Carolyn is online or not. Carolyn S is her name.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, if she's not on, okay, so I'm just gonna read the slide, which.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe I guess I stop and I hear from that, you'd be like, go back, I'm gonna go back.
Right, then I'll just say that, and I go in the order and it's all Australian, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think I have everything.
This one I did myself and it's straight line for this.
That's what we're gonna start with, is this. And it's working out okay, it's working.
Yeah.
This is where I first got. Yeah. And I think I told you that next, it's Zoom, it's on Zoom next month, in May, the 7th. Pretty much pushing it. I will not be here.
On Saturday, there's a.
No, Thursday, Saturday is the garage sale, so there's none.
Okay, you won't be there.
I will be, but I'll send you everything you need to know for that person.
Is it one day in August?
Yes, her name is Catherine Redford.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I have her slide out there. And it's on there, like, and I will contact her like next week. And just.
Oh, there's
I mean, we're really looking forward to your presentation. And so then I like, she's got us on her calendar, because I went, she's still looking at. Right, so then I'll send it to her, and then a week before I'll send her the Zoom link. And tell her to be there at 6:30, so I'm pushing it, and then I'll leave you. And
I know, I try not.
Angie.
Try not to think of somebody.
And these are her, so she. And I will say, fortunately, I will not be there. I'm sad I don't get to look at that, but Aaron and Brenda and Chief will get you.
Yeah, so I can bring it back.
Yeah, and it'll work out.
Yeah.
But, so I said, I told my husband,
That.
It's been a rough time, but I have to, you know, it's no thing to me, and it's hard to learn how to do that. Like, I have a system, and if I don't respond to an email fast enough, bear with me. We learned something at final last week. Oh, I should check, oh, I have an email, I should check that. But I just don't have the time sometimes, so. And I'm part of a Facebook group. And, I haven't been able to do that. Right, and Alex said she's gonna start once the show is over and we're gonna get classes going, and Rose Allen said she teach class. And then they also checked on the Rebel Noon. But it's paper piece of hair, so we should have a class just on paper thing. That happening. Otherwise, they'll go frustrated. Sarah said she had to get a makeup by class to see what goes. So, just like, 3 minutes.
Which is fine, don't tell me, don't tell me. No, don't tell me. Sure I do.
Testing. Oh, yeah. My mother. 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get about the gentleman's mouse.
Yeah, but you can only control. That's. Working the next. Do you like that? Very patriotic. And are you then sure? Close. Not yet. This is what you get.
There's a sheet going around for Chantel, if you can stay on for Chantel, and then the last person to get it, turn it to G. You're gonna do some show and tell. At the end of the. Okay, we're gonna get started, it looks like everybody is ready. I forgot to announce that, the Chaska Area Folk Club is wrapping up folk club there, so please take a chance on that. And after the show, meander. And also add, when we're all done, if there's any cupcakes left and you want to take some home for you or your husband and or grandkids, kids, whatever, grab a box. Okay, we're gonna start with the Minnesota Coal Project. I don't believe Carolyn is online, so I'm just gonna read the slide. So bear with me. Beginning in the late 1980s, MQP volunteers travel around Minnesota to document quotes and say the story of coal makers. The work continues today, resulting in about 6,000 documented quotes. The information was published in a book in 2005 and has been uploaded to the Quote Index, an online database. All are welcome to join the group, which meets monthly. If you have a quote you'd like to donate, send an email to mqp@minnesota.mnquote.org.
For me.
We have an upcoming day retreat this in April, the 16th to the 18th. Hostess Liz Dardell at Carol Davidson. If you're interested, go to the 2026 day retreat tile on our homepage to register to sign up to be a host for future retreats. Please sign up. We have sign up genius. The getaway, the spring getaway. How was it? Did anybody here go to the spring getaway?
We went, yeah.
Okay. Hold on here. Hold on, lovely ladies.
we got to go to Camp Waffle, which is a lovely camp that has two bodies of water on either side of it. It's almost like a little peninsula between two lakes. So it's a lovely setting. We had such a good time. The women who came are, well, like all of you, are so open and wonderful and friendly and willing to share. We truly had a great time. And if you're interested in learning more about what Camp Wabo is like, on April 23rd to the 30th, there's an experience that's called Northlands Rec Lab, and it's a week-long folk camp where you do folk singing, folk dancing, folk arts. And you can learn everything from making a musical instrument to building a birch bark basket to watercolor painting to felting, all kinds of wonderful things. And so if you're interested in that, Tina and I have some cards. But anyway, there's something really wonderful about attending the spring getaway. It just feels like you can tell that winter's going to end soon. The buds on the trees, the water was beginning to open up. There was an eagle that flew overhead. It was just lovely there. And so anyway, please do consider coming to join us for Rec Lab if you love that sort of thing.
And there's one coming up, the fall getaway is at the Riverside Inn in Cold Spring, Minnesota, November 20th through the 24th. The host will be Cynthia Davis. On May 7th, Catherine Redford will be presenting lessons learned while quilting. Quilting is a choice, and as much as I think that all quilters have the right to choose the elements of their craft that bring joy to them, they're always part of our lives that we just have to do in pursuit of our long-term goals. It's the same when we quilt. I always encourage my children to try a new vegetable, but could accept that there were some that they never learned to love. I encourage my students to try all processes involved in finishing a quilt, but accept that there will be some people that find the joy in making tops by machine, while others enjoy handwork, and still others love to machine quilts. That's okay. That's when teamwork comes in, and there's a whole community of quilters out there willing to help. The annual garage sale will be Saturday, May 9th from 9 to 3. Donate the stuff you have too much of or don't need. This is a fantastic opportunity to share resources and connect with fellow quilters. Items could be dropped off at MQ on Thursday and Friday, May 7th and 8th, 9 to 3 p.m. Items to donate: quilting cotton, fabric kits of UFOs, unwanted quilt equipment, including sewing machines, quilting tools and notions, books and patterns, batting, and anything quilt related. Items they don't want is magazines, fabric that isn't quilting cotton, and woven quilting frames. And there's still time to volunteer if you want to help set up. And the good thing is you can first dibs on what's in there. You can help us during the drop-off days and during the garage sale, pricing, organized, greeting customers, supporting the garage sale planning team of Sandy Mersel, Donna Rooney, and Elizabeth Wagner. Sign Up Genius has opportunities for it. Go to the website, look for Getting Involved tab, and the volunteer opportunities. Thanks. Add your fabric collection, sort through tools, try a different style fabric or tool new to you, bring a new quilter, your purchase help support our organization. They also create more room so you can buy more stuff at the quilt shop. The mystery quilt, 4 clues are in, there's still time to join, and you look for the registration link on the MQ homepage. The Minnesota Quilters Board, are you looking for a way to get more involved in Minnesota Quilters? Now's your chance. We are looking for 4 to 5 people to join the MQ board. When you join the board as a board member at large, you get the opportunity to help govern, but you also get time to learn more about the organization and how the board operates. If you've ever thought about serving on the board, this is a great way to get started. Show committee meeting will be April 22nd at 6:30, but I believe she moved it up to 7. So be ready for your email, and I'll pop the Zoom link in and tell you exact time. Minnesota Quilt Show news. This is the logo that you can have ironed on in sort of material you want to get. The shirt, t-shirt, that kind of thing. Have you registered for workshops? Are you registered in quilts? April 22nd is the deadline. MQ and Show merchandise online store is launched. get about QR code. Show fabric is available at the MQ store. Volunteer opportunities will be at Sign Up Genius in May, where you can volunteer to work at the show. And that is the link if you want to take a picture of that, so you can get to it in case you don't have the QR code. That'll get you to the, but I believe you can get through Minnesota Quilters also. Call for state bird flower quilts exhibit, the 26 MQP booth will mark America's 250 by featuring state bird, state flower quilts. These quilts often use printed transfer patterns and showcase a variety of skills, popular in the 40s and 60s. If you have a state bird or flower quilt you would like to exhibit, please contact MQP, known by sending them an email, mqp@mnqquilt.org. The quote shown here is from the collection of Kelly Willis. Calling for donations sold at the MQP booth. Minnesota Quilt Project will present an annual sale of vintage donated quilt-related items to MQP booth at the show. If you have vintage quilts, tops, blocks, fabrics, or other quilted-related items to donate, please bring them to an MQ meeting or contact MQP at mnquilt.org. All proceeds go to the outreach and education projects of the Minnesota Quilters. Is everybody here for judging who would like to speak to this?
No, I'm sorry, I was gonna. So anything you're bringing for the garage sale, if you might have an antique quilt or anything, we'll take that. Kits.
I'm with MQP, so if you're looking at things that you're gathering up for your garage sale, if you have quilt tops or even a kit that might be reproduction antique fabrics and stuff, we certainly take those. They do go at blocks, quilt blocks, orphan blocks, things of that sort. And 100 years ago now is sneaking up on us. I think the 1940s, 50s or so. But anyway, so we'll certainly take her.
Awesome. The judge quilting entry deadline is April 22nd at 2 p.m. From what I understand is you take a picture, even if you just have the pattern in your fabric, you take a picture you can enter it that way. You just have to have it done, I think it's sometime in May, to enter it into the quilt show. Non-judge exhibit quilt flying deadline is also April 22nd. It's a $10 fee per quilt, and up to 3 can be submitted for non-judging. Add your quilts to the special exhibit. Is there someone here for a special exhibit?
Oh, mine with special exhibits too.
Hold on.
Okay. Many hats.
Okay, special exhibits, we have some great special exhibits, but 2 in particular that would involve members. One of them is if you have done any of the Cherrywood challenges that did not get chosen to travel, we would love to display those. We're going to have our Cherrywood challenge along with the latest storybook, the ones that were chosen for traveling. And then we also, one of them, we've had many of our members that have passed away in the last year to 2 years. And so we have an exhibit of, we're asking for blocks, memorial blocks, memory blocks, if you wanted to make a block in honor or in remembrance of the person the friend that you might have lost. So those are 2, and we've been featuring a lot of those in the newsletter, so you can either check with Brenda Lysing and myself or check out the newsletter. Yep.
For the memorial blocks, those actually then we would mark presented by the 22nd.
No, not at all. And I believe we'll probably display those in the window displays we have, because we're not sure just what we're going to get yet.
And that was regarding.
Oh, and that has to do with the memorial.
The block, small.
Yeah, we believe there is I think they are 12-inch blocks. Oh, yeah, aren't they 12-inch blocks? Yes.
Cool. No.
No, just the plain block. What they plan on doing is, after the show,
They will put them together into finished quilts, and I believe they're either going to auction them off or give them as comfort quilts or something or other. Maybe auction them off.
Thank you. Next slide. Now we're on the fun part. Well, Chantel, I asked that you enter from this side because of the courts. Please come up.
Usually we have a description of what the cult is. And somebody has to take pictures.
Okay, so line up over here. Yeah, okay. Okay. And he's musicians. This is Jean's quilt. Come over here. Oh,
Yeah, for your better.
Great. I'm making a quilt of valor for my cousin who was in the Navy for 26 years. And I got to work with Maureen on her lawn machine. Yes, oh, she had a anchor, anchor and a ship's wheel. And furled line, all things that you requested. So I was really glad she was able to download that and make it. I still have to find it and do the label.
okay. Next.
Yeah, sorry, I'm like doing 4 things.
It's okay, that's good. I know better.
Peggy Lindgren. And this quilt, this flower fabric here was both my daughter's dress. So you wear it twice. And then it goes to the next kid, so worn 4 times. And I really liked it, and I liked remembering them when they were that age. And so I had as many of these flowers as I could.
Can you just change this?
And then if you look at the bottom, there's half squares, so I used the other half of everything to make the whole quilt. And my daughter came by and she said, "It's like this." It was really exciting for her. So I want you to think about that. You know, when you get your kids something or grandkids, say, "Well, save that one. I'll use it later."
Can you tell me the name of that one again? What did you call that one?
Next.
Thank you.
Did you sign it?
Oh, no, it's not. But sign it would have a show and tell.
This is, no, I think she, I am there. Becky Lindgren.
Hi, I'm Kathy Sandman, so I'm your third underlist. I told my sister-in-law to make her a quilt. And I let her pick out one fabric so that I would get started and know what she liked. And she picked out this batik, which doesn't go with anything.
That's the danger.
So, yeah, that was
That's the danger.
so that's why it's all kind of browns and grays and kind of purple in just because it needed some pop. So that's that. So I just finished that. I got really bored doing the same block over and over. So I would take breaks. We'll do this one first. I would do breaks and I would make protest quilts because there's no end of the protest in sight, and I would just put those around my head, and I've made a whole bunch of them now. So that was the latest one I've done, We the People. And while I was out there protesting, I was thinking about the challenge this year, and that I really hate that blue fabric with the squiggles. But that's what I came up with that one. So that's my challenge. Very nice. So that's Next. Oh, yeah, too. We like that.
Well, there it is.
Same time.
Go look at this.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Erica Baranek. These are the 2025 MQ mystery books. I can never pick a color and stick with it, so I was doing both of them at once. I took a hiatus and finished them all at a retreat in February, so I'm excited. I think it's really neat when you see them side by side. You see how the colors, the color choices really impact, you know, the feel.
Does anyone know how many people are doing them?
25 to 26.
26, I have, 26, we're gonna be at the show.
I got that one.
This is 25.
Years.
Yeah.
But it's 25, but then it'll be shown in the show at 26.
Well, if you put it back on it, you know, sure. The Facebook group was pretty big. I don't know if everybody put it.
I got mine. Thank you.
I haven't even started this.
Great.
So, I'm right here. I'm Diane Connor. And I wanted to make a wall piece for a friend of mine that I was visiting down in Florida. And it was a flower. I had seen it on Facebook. It was only about this big, but it was a flower, and each petal of the flower had multiple colors in it. So I needed some fabric that had a lot of color. And Rose helped me pick out this floral fabric, which I only needed little pieces of. Well, it was a backing fabric, so it's like 120 inches, and I had a whole bunch left. So I put this quilt together, and they love it so much. I'm gonna keep it and hang it in my house. I'm calling it Flower Garden. And it's one of 3 quilts that I'm gonna be showing at the quilt show. And I encourage all of you to register a quilt and hang it at the show, because it's so much fun to see your stuff. And then you can stand there and listen to people's comments. They're always good and always complimentary. Then I also made a memorial block to honor Martha Eves, who I met at our church group. She's the one that encouraged me to start quilting. She had a quilt hanging at the church that she had used fabric that was printed with parrots on it, and she had cut them all up into like a one block wonder kind of thing. And she called it Polly Meets a Blender. And I didn't know that a quilt could be funny like that. So anyway, I took my first quilt lesson from Martha. And Martha, I don't know if you remember her, she was an attorney and she was very active. She was a social activist. And I know she would have appreciated the sign that Sunbonnet Sue was holding, which says no kings. And she loved the color pink, so I had to put pink on Sunbonnet Sue. She also made many naughty Sunbonnet Sue quilt blocks. She also loved prairie points, so I got all that stuff on there just to honor her. And that's very nice.
Very nice.
You know, I always say, Sunbonnet Sue, if any state gets to claim a quilt block, Minnesota gives Sunbonnet Sue, because she originally was the drawing for children's reader primers back in the early 1900s. And the author is from Mantorville, Minnesota. And the illustrator came up to Minnesota and studied at the Minneapolis School. So we get to claim Sunbonnet Sue as our state block.
Hi everybody, I'm Connie Mulkey. I'm a member today, so I'm very excited.
This is what I call my Alaskan puffins, quilt. I am a person of color and I mean that with every day. I love color everywhere I look. So I just, I found a beautiful set of boutiques up at the cottage, no, the country cottage in Waukon, Minnesota. And so I purchased that to go along with this particular, panel. And, this is what it turned out to be over the course of a retreat we got. So, thanks for having me.
Very much so. And I think we have one slide on what, yes, is Sandra online? Well, this is Sandra's, she took the Minnesota quilt fabric and she made some crossboys. She said she really enjoyed working with the felt right here. So that's an example of her handiwork and her creativeness.
I think that's all I have for slides.
That's it. So thank you for coming and look forward to seeing you. May 7th will be Zoom and then the garage sale. So bring in your treasures so you can make more room after the big show. Thank you.
No, I'll double check again. Right. I don't want to enter it. Oh, okay. Because I